There is a very old and deadly dance going on in the Atlantic Ocean. One of the dancers is SCP-2846, a massive, kilometer-long leviathan, an octopod from the depths beyond depths, with a penchant for attacking vessels. SCP-2486-A's attacks are unexpected, usually aimed at civilian craft, and almost impossible to detect and prevent. The other dancer is SCP-2846-B, a ghost ship, specifically a Pennsylvania Class Super Dreadnought, which appears from deep water to attack the Leviathan. The two SCPs dance until the octopod is injured, then retreat under the waves. The dance between these two ghostly entities has been going on for hundreds of years, before there were battleships or massive civilian vessels like cruise ships. The Leviathan's first targets in noted history were sailing vessels and large sea creatures like whales, while the battleship opposing it was before seen as, and I quote, a ship of the line with black flags and billowing smoke in its wake. As a bit of history, the battleship, SCP-2846-B, and the brave souls, literally, who crew it, have been hunting SCP-2486-A for ages. In 1935, the SCP Foundation made direct contact with an officer aboard 2486-B. The man, if you can still call him that, stated that his name was David Thomas Jones of His Majesty's Royal Navy. He had been commissioned by the British monarchy to kill a sea creature which was attacking English merchant vessels in 1685. He was given command of the Flying Dutchman, which was carrying 250 men. The men, however, and the Dutchman were both ill-prepared for the massive beast, and were pulled underwater and drowned. There, according to Jones, the soldiers traveled to a sort of afterlife, another dimension, David Jones's locker. Jones, after wandering the shores of eternity for countless ages, eventually stumbled across Calypso, a woman self-described as a goddess of the sea, one who, in the early ages, helped to banish the leviathans of the depths who first roamed our seas into a great and dark pit. However, there was one who escaped that pit and was now roaming free, the Titan, Iapatus, SCP-2846-A. Calypso believed that Iapatus would return to the depths, breaking the seal that banished the other Titans, and thus bringing forth the apocalypse. The crew of the Flying Dutchman was thus revived and given immortality, and, of course, a ghost ship. Since then, they've been hunting the beast. In 1935, the Foundation provided the very fine souls with a brand new Pennsylvania Class Super Dreadnought, the USS Montana, which was subsequently upgraded and put into service. However, the Foundation didn't just give away a battleship. They armed it with a fail-safe device which could be detonated should the sailors go rogue. Whether it would actually work, well, that's up to anyone's guess. The Foundation, for its own part, besides assisting David Jones and his men, has made some effort to track the Leviathan, and they believe that it is attempting to move subterranean rock, which is covering some sort of iron structure. Beneath this iron, the Foundation has identified an extreme source of heat and energy, one which they have designated an XK threat, a designation likely meaning that the threat is dangerous enough to threaten the entire world. When the Foundation has attempted to attack the creature directly, that has resulted in the destruction of their warships. Curiously though, 2846-A also seems to have a companion, a much smaller creature, and the Foundation has typically been satisfied to engage that, while the Flying Dutchman, or whatever the new vessel is called, continues its familiar task of hunting and warding off Iapatus. However, what's truly troublesome is that the Leviathan, the Octopodian Titan, seems to only be breaching the surface to feed on civilian vessels, before returning to the depths. The Foundation worries about the continued targeting of human life, and the fact that if more enemies begin to help out, it will be extremely difficult to contain them all, especially given the fact that, again, the Foundation has lost multiple warships in even relatively simple encounters. And for that reason, the Foundation now is maintaining a civilian exclusion zone around the active area, while also planning a vision for the future, which may see the fight taken to the creature's domain. Additionally, the Foundation is also keeping an eye on 2846-B, ready to explode the nuclear device within the ship should the crew go rogue. That, however, I think seems very, very unlikely. So with all that said, what's going on? Well, this is a pretty simple one, which is one of the reasons I like it. 2846A, Iapatus uses civilian vessels as food before returning to the area surrounding the seal, locking in the other Titans to dig away and slowly uncover the barrier. And despite Davy Jones's best effort, it is finding some success. There's a great fear that the seal will be broken, unleashing the Titans of old, who I'm sure take the form of those massive energy readings, unless the story was metaphorical, which is certainly a possibility. And the whole story, the SCP generally, draws elements from common naval fables, including modern ones like Pirates of the Caribbean, which itself really just adapts older source material. We have an undead crew aboard the Flying Dutchman, trips to Davy Jones's locker, and much more. We have Calypso, who not only in Pirates of the Caribbean also comes directly from Greek mythology, though not with a similar backstory to the Calypso in this SCP, and Iapatus too was actually a Greek titan, but not a giant octopus. That being said, it's possible that the titan here is simply taking its current form as a way of convenience. So I really like this SCP. I mean, I like all of the ones I cover, but this one I think is particularly fun. It doesn't have a very unique presence with an entity battling out another entity over time, but I do like how common sort of tropes, including undead ships and Davy Jones, are turned around. Davy Jones isn't a devil-like feature or a malevolent entity, rather he's a form of savior. And I think it's interesting how the Foundation has went out of their way to aid the efforts of one of their SCPs. Unsurprisingly, I know nothing about Greek mythology, so I'm not sure how deep the connection is between the characters in this story and the source material, so if you have some insight on that, I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments, and while you're there, also let me know what you thought of this video in its entirety. If you did enjoy it, consider subscribing, liking, and turning that notification bell on. It really helps if you guys watch the video in the first hour or so, and the best way to do that is by turning on that bell. Anyway, until next time guys, this has been EckhartsLadder. As always, have a great day, and may the Force be with you.